是中国的男人非常好打，钱也非常好赚，但令我最兴奋的还是中国的女人。你知道的，中国女人的魅力让我欲罢不能。
这小子欠打。
观众朋友大家好，这是一场由藏族格斗王子对阵巴西拳王的复仇之战。红色拳套黄色头发的家伙就是巴西实力拳王戈恩卡维斯。卡维斯曾战胜小日本高手内藤大树，3回合血拼泰拳冠军铁人罗唐，可以说是近些年来巴西格斗的代表性人物。但是这人一旦有了点成就，尾巴就翘到天上去了，谁都不放在眼里，大庭广众说出羞辱中国姑娘的言论，所以让我们的藏族小伙非常气愤。让我们看一下他有哪些精彩表现。
With that modified Uchimata puts down Walter Gonçalves, and Gonçalves throws up a triangle or an armbar attempt. Walter attacking the legs now, looking for the heel hook. Bama tries to run, and he's out of alignment. Past the hip line, looks like Bama is going to be safe.
我们看到巴西大色魔持续地面柔术，不断切换锁技，尝试地面绞杀。然而斑马夺基这名小伙有个特点，虽然年仅22岁的他大赛经验不足，但从小在艰苦环境中成长的他，早就磨练出坚韧不拔的性格以及强健的体魄。而且他认为中国力量不容置疑，中国女性的尊严不容践踏。而且我也相信这位藏族小伙的必胜决心，所以观众朋友敬请期待即可。
Where Bama needs to continue to make smart decisions in this match, because little things like that, like he had his
哇，这一下真的非常的重且精准，这种切肤之痛相信男同胞们深有体会，据说相当于女同胞生孩子时的疼痛。而且看来这裁判也是个明眼人，只是小声提醒斑马夺基下次小心，而没有出示黄牌警告。看来不管是哪个国家的人，内心都对不尊重女性的家伙深恶痛绝。比赛再次开始。
As he gets the takedown. That was a beautiful double leg takedown by Bama Doji. He didn't put himself at all at risk, Rich. Just a beautiful takedown, puts Walter on his back. But again, Walter starts looking for those submissions, forces Bama to disengage and rethink his strategy.
Yeah, Bama's ability to land that beautiful double that he did was precipitated by his footwork in and out. It looks like Bama is just...
下前抱双腿进入地面当中，斑马多吉占据了上位优势。卡维斯这里眼神示意裁判，并且摸了摸头，应该是向裁判告状。裁判这里分开了2人，并且警告斑马多吉不要用头撞击，并因此吃到了1张黄牌。斑马多吉接下来一定要小心谨慎，虽说黄牌会被扣除1分，但大家千万不要小瞧藏族小伙的爱国情怀。成长的环境包括以及老师的教导，都让他无法对羞辱女同胞的家伙手下留情。
The groin strike earlier obviously was unfortunate, but it was accidental. This one, he gets carded for. Uppercut, Doji, and a big Gonçalves. Both glancing blows from each competitor. 2:17 in the second. Well, the yellow card is similar to getting taken away. So you're now behind the scorecards. So if it does go to decision, the judges can factor that yellow card into their decision. So there needs to be a lot more urgency coming from Bama here.
绝对罕见，藏族小伙真可谓力拔山兮气盖世，差点就把这个巴西色魔扔下了擂台。很多老铁可能对斑马多吉不太了解，他在10岁的时候因为交不起学费，所以来到了恩波格斗俱乐部学习。而恩波俱乐部大家都不陌生，就是王宝强拍摄八角笼中的原型。可以说出身贫困家庭的他，吃了无数常人想不到的苦。不过近些年也算是苦尽甘来，竟打出了16战15胜14次 TKO 的亮眼成绩，完全是用双拳打破家徒四壁的励志榜样。
Bama tried for the takedown, but he caught that shin on the way in too. I think it allowed Bama Doji to follow up with that second effort.
Bama getting his hands up high on the hips. Walter does a good job of pulling the hips.
If I was his corner, I would be hitting him with a sense of urgency right about now.
I'm sure the urgency's there. He wants to get up, but...
斑马多吉不断转换把位，一边移动身体，一边用肘部死死顶着对手的脖颈，将大名鼎鼎的巴西色魔冠军暗地摩擦。到底是斑马多吉力量太强， 还是卡维斯色迷心智腿软无力？相信看完比赛的老铁们自有定夺。
This was a tough fight for his first time ever in MMA, but he's acquitted himself pretty well. Each time you're in there, this is going to be a great 15 minutes if it goes the distance. So, at the very least, learning experience and time in the ring in this discipline.
上位砸肘是大力沉，斑马夺基不仅要赢得比赛，更是要打得他满脸桃花开。因为卡维斯的头触碰到了篮网，裁判让双方重回擂台中央。虽然比赛的规则就像是老太太的裹脚布，又臭又长，但好在没影响到斑马多吉的节奏。巴西色魔苟延残喘，斑马多吉胜利在望。
Unloading shots. But he's okay just to sit here in the guard and do this. A little bit of urgency, a little bit of escape.
眼看巴西选手铁了心躺在地上当乌龟，斑马多吉显然是不忍了，凶猛霸道的砸拳发起最后冲锋。
And those body shots when he was on the ground, that had taken everything out from Gonzalez's gas tank.
Couple of hammered fists and a couple of rights here from the Toshi closing the show. Rifling shots to the head and body of Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking to just ride this thing out under 10 seconds to go.
每一拳都是那么凶猛霸道，每一拳都是那么振奋人心。斑马多吉挺身而出，战胜巴西色魔，对他进行了正义的审判，最终霸气 KO 取得胜利。老铁们认为藏族小伙的比赛精彩吗？中国必胜！